Right, first off, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom. This is the brother Irawam from the James Jamaica camp. And just want to come with another quick lesson. As a matter of fact, this is a response to the elders Joshua Wamba's video. I did it I think about 2 weeks ago. That not nature also teaches, and it been thinking about doing a response for some time now, but the spirit have it where just getting a chance to do it. And I'm going to in his video he actually highlighted the fact that in nature, you have certain animals that don't mesh or mingle with other animals. The lions don't mingle with the hyenas. I think it was the sharks don't mingle with the killer whale. Things about that. And it was just showing that how even with the heathen, the Chinese, they always stick together. The so-called Africans stick together. White people, so-called white people who are Edomites, according to the scriptures, stick together just the same. But Jake wants to be one and mingle with everyone. They don't actually separate themselves from their enemies. The predator prey dynamic isn't exercised by Jake, right? And a scene where the brother been doing other videos on nature overall, since then. And I've also seen this video, where there was a fish that it had to do it basically had to create some pattern in the sand, in order to attract a mate, and it really had me thinking on many levels. So this is gonna be more of a just going through the spirit. Hope the Lord bring some more precepts to mind. Also, I'm gonna try my best to keep it short and to the point. However, I do have a starting precept, right, which is the precept from 1 Corinthians 11, starting at verse 14, right? It says that not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him, right? And within this scripture or within this chapter, it was going into dominance, the natural order of dominance on the earth, which is through the Most High. Then you have Yahushai, and you have men, and you have the women, right? But it was also going about women praying with their heads uncovered, and how they're dishonoring their head or their superior, if you will, right? And many things. But the key point is that not even nature itself teach you, right? Now nature can teach us a lot of things. As I stated, this is a response video, so let's look up the words, a few words, right? Let's look up the word nature real quickly from the BLB. Let's play the Greek.
Strong's G 5449. Phusis.
Right, and it says the first definition. It says the nature of things, the force, the laws, order of nature, right? And it says the first definition says as opposed to what is monstrous, abnormal, and perverse. Because a lot of things that are abnormal, it actually defines it defies Salakia nature. It's against the natural order of things, right? The second definition says as opposed what has been produced by the art of man, the natural branches, that is the branches by the operation of nature. So you have a few things that are natural, and as I stated before, definitely gonna go ahead and bring out these definitions and go through the spirit as well. So that was nature. You have, as I think Esau would term it, the natural laws, right? And this is the word teach. It says to hold discourse with others in order to instruct them and deliver didactic discourses, right? Sometimes when you think about how things operate in the world around us, you can either have discourse with people, and also you can have discourse with yourself. You can instruct yourself. when you're filtering through the scriptures and everything. Brothers might, we here at GMS, we term it, when you're in the spirit, or when you observe certain things through the spirit, you can really see how everything is perfect, and even in the breakdowns that the brother have been doing with, based on nature and things of the like, you can see how it actually is filtered through the spirit, right? Salakia, right? It says to discharge the office of a teacher, conduct oneself that was not a part of it, right? The second definition says to teach one, to impart instruction, because it does instruct us, instill doctrine into one, the thing taught or enjoyed, to explain or expound upon to explain or expound a thing. Exactly, a lot of things that we see in our natural environments, even the abnormalities, or we observe how they operate when it's not within the right course or within its natural course, and the effects, it helps explain what it should be, and even explain why things are the way they are, or why they shouldn't be the way that they are, right? It says to teach one something, right? And to be honest, there are a lot of things that through the scriptures that I filter through the spirit, that I observe in nature, that definitely teaches a lot of things, and one of the going back to the main thing for me still, well, not the main thing, but one of the things that I was thinking about while observing or thinking about this topic was the was dominance. How Esau has this abnormal, even it goes into this scripture. Let me just read it real quickly. Let me read it real quickly. This is 1 Corinthians 11 verse 3. It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is for the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High. Right? That very distinct there, thing there, where Esau tried to show the woman as dominant, with the women's rights movement, with the feminist movement, things of that nature, how he has thrown off the whole dominant spectrum. But let's look at the animals, right? The males, in order to attract a mate, they do quite a few things. One of the things would be actually fighting, and the victor would usually be the victor is usually the mate that is chosen, right? With the head of a lion pride, or maybe a wolf, you have the head, which is what, a male kind, whether it be a male wolf or a male lion, or whatever pact that we're dealing with, or whatever animal group that we're dealing with. The head is usually male, and it's usually more muscular, and it usually is more aggressive, right? Because what dominance, in a natural sense, it does what? It shows that you can protect, the fact that you're more aggressive, the way it shows the fact that you're actually stronger, the fact that you're more you're leading, it shows also intelligence. So it shows that you have the body to produce, whether it be from a reproductive standpoint, or to hunt or to gather things, and also to mate, which means to and you reproduce, and also to protect the pact. That's just how natural things go. And you have the female, they have the servitude rule as well, just like how in the real world a woman would actually cook the food. I don't know how much you brothers know about lions, but usually in the lion pride, or in the pack, the female, the lioness, they are the ones that actually hunt, and they bring the food in, and then the male lion eats first, the head eats first, and then everyone gets what's left, and it actually, it's just not free for all after he has eaten. There's certain rank and order even within the pride or within the pack, and even within the species, once you have two packs or two lions meet up, the fight is on to ensure that their pride or their pack is protected. So even just like within a nation, you protect your house and ensure that your household is protected, whether it be your servants, whether it be your wife, your children, your property, your domain, your den, is protected. I watch a lot of documentaries on wolves and lions. Prefer the wolves. I watch a lot of movies concerning wolves, and there's all, even especially with the wolves. There's also the hierarchy structure is usually explained a lot clearer than in the lion pride. But even in the lion pride, you have the male lion, you have the when once you have like the cub coming up, they have certain responsibilities as well. Some watch, all things of that nature. It shows how even in our in the human species, you know why the male is definitely head. But even within the order and structure of things, you have it's not like you just have one male in a pact or within a pride, but there's the head, the main, which comes what with, you have Yahweh, you have Yahushai. So the order actually trickles down, and each member has its each member of the pack have their responsibilities and their jobs that they do, right? You also have some animals where they have to what they have to they attract male based on their appearance, and they do a lot of things to actually get their appearance to a certain liking, or maybe with certain scents or something like that. When the females smell it or when the females see it, or they may have to make certain sounds, or that actually attracts a mate. In the human in the human species, some ways you spit game, you know, you may have to dress a certain way, you have to be groomed a certain way, you have to smell a certain way, you have to can speak a certain way, you know because even in the law you have three ways to get a wife. You can either it can either be done by what betrothal, where the father selects a suitable mate or a male to ensure that you know they can provide for the daughter and all of that, right? And also that they will be able to pay for the dowry. And you have some in the law you have if a man shall entice a maid by what, probably how him look, how him sound, how him smell, him can actually entice. And then even as some animal things, or some animal kingdoms, it's a case where they actually take you by force, you know and you have a law in that as well. Now, am I saying that we are supposed to be animals, or we're supposed to behave like plants, or are we supposed to neglect orders? No, we have the laws for that. We have it's not a free for all, but it just shows that certain things, are there's a lot of things that we can learn, in how the animals operate, in how plants operate, in seasons. They go through certain changes, just like how your body would go through certain changes. How everything or most things in life have one main body, but they have different parts. Like, tree have roots, the branches, the trunk, they bear the fruit. Same thing with the human body. You have your arms, your limbs, your legs, your spine, and even Paul goes as far as to let you know that the body has many members and go through the functions. Same thing with the cells. Even by sight, some colors are just naturally more feminine, some smells are more feminine, some sounds are more feminine. So even in this particular precept saying that it's a shame for a woman, it's a shame for a man to have long hair. That's just a natural feminine trait, where even me growing up, when we saw a kid within our age group, that has long hair, or that had cornrows, if you will, would actually say that he's a girl boy, or will say that, hey, he looks like a girl, because just based on the fact that they have a lot of hair, right? And would actually attribute, the hair towards females, right? So, there are a lot of things that we can learn from nature, can as a matter of fact, let me get a quick precept. One came to mind real quickly. It doesn't mean that I'll be going on and on. I'm already 14 minutes in. Gonna bring out this precept, and hope I'm not rambling. Hope this is actually making sense to the body, where are we? Ecclesiastes. There we go. Right. Let me get it. Says all things. There we go. Ecclesiastes 1 verse 8. It says all things are full of labor. Hey, as a matter of fact, it starts with what? The one generation. It says, let me start at verse 4. It says, one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. The sun also riseth and goeth down. The wind aren't these things of nature, right? And they go through courses, just as how life has a course. The week has a course, the months have a course. All rivers run into the sea and are not full. These are things of nature, right? Verse 8 says, all things are full of labor, man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. So it says all things are full of labor, meaning that you can learn from all things, because there's a specific function and a natural way how all things actually operate. And we can always, based on how it labors, it actually brings forth fruits, which means it provides a certain results, which means it's something that we can observe and learn from. And that's an example of how that is exactly how nature teaches us, That is how nature actually teaches us, right? Hey, and based on I'm gonna bring out one more precept, to show that it's there's countless amount of animals, there are countless amount of things that we can observe, and learn how to operate by. But I'm just gonna leave you with one final precept. This is it 1 Corinthians 2? Right. It also says in the Apocrypha that you should be not ignorant in any matter, whether small or great. Right. Now let me just bring this down. Verse 15 says, but he that is spiritual judgeth all things, right? Yet he himself is judge of no man. Right? And let's look up the word judge it. So if you're spiritual, you judge all things. As it says, all things are full of labor. Right? So let's look up the word judge it. Oh, hold on. He that is spiritual, judge it. Alright, so this is the word judge, anakeron, and it says to examine, judge, investigate, right? Inquire into, scrutinize, sift, question, especially in a forensic sense, to hold of a judge to hold an investigation. Interrogate, examine the accused or witness. It says to judge, estimate, determine the excellence or defects of any person or thing. And that's a good way to actually learn how to judge, to observe nature. Right? It's the same word here, anakaran. Right? Truly, it says, he that is spiritual truly judgeth all things. Right? So hey, really think that I've said enough, don't want to be ranting too long, but nonetheless, I hope this was definitely edifying. And once more I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule well, and shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth, the sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom.